All right, my friends, it's going to be I think a short video today, but like a lot of you, I have an iMac here, but for me, this iMac is primarily my machine. It's really the only machine or the only person that uses this computer is me. But for a lot of people that buy an iMac or have purchased an iMac, it can be more of like the family computer, unlike a laptop. This is kind of stationary, and you may have you or your partner or the kids all kind of using it. So one of the things that you want to make sure of is that you have separate users for everybody. This will allow you, of course, to make sure that everybody's personal information is separated from everybody else's, so that I don't log in and get all my wife's stuff, and she doesn't log in and get all my stuff, and I delete stuff off the desktop, which is stuff that she needed. We all have our own areas, which means they're all secured by our username and password, as well as things even like iCloud, where we log into our user with our iCloud, which means our stuff synchronizes, not somebody else's stuff is synchronizing. So we want to make sure that when we have a computer like this, we set up users for each person that's going to be using this, so that we have that ability to really make this computer ours, customize it for ourselves, as well as letting the other users do that exact same thing. So we're going to go on to the iMac here. Now we are running Big Sur, so make sure you are upgraded as much as you can so that you have Big Sur on here. And if you don't know how to do that, simply come up to the little apple. You'll actually see system preferences up here, or I believe you can actually go into About This Mac and you'll see a software update. And if you click on software update, you'll see it say checking for updates. That's probably the fastest way to do it. You can see I'm updated and ready to go. If not, there would be an update button, and you should do that. You also may want to go, depending on how old your computer is, and if it's not running Big Sur, it may not necessarily come up there. So you may actually want to go into your app store down here and see if it shows up in updates here, or even in the Discover. If you come up, well, actually above it, and type in Big Sur, you can see if, there it is right there, if that is something that your machine is capable of taking. So we're going to close this because I'm all updated, and really all we need to do is come down here into your system preferences, which is the one that looks like the little gear. Tap on that. If it's not down here on your dock, again, you can go up to the Apple logo and you will see system preferences. It's going to bring up this screen right here, and all we need to do is look for an area that says, you'll see it here on mine, users and groups, and we are going to create users. Now once you click on this, you'll actually see I only have one user. Now you can turn a guest user on, and for some I do actually recommend it, especially if you get a lot of people that come over that may also want to be able to use this machine. That's not something that happens in our household, so we have it off. But first off, you'll see that the plus and the minus here, which is the ability to add users as well as remove users, is grayed out. We can't do anything to it, and it's because the system is locked with a password. So we're going to click that lock, and it's going to ask for your admin password. So this isn't your Apple ID password, this is your computer's administrative password. So I'm going to type that in here. All right, and you'll see that it unlocks, and now that little plus is available. The minus isn't, because I only have one user. So when we hit that plus button, first thing, this is really important, because depending on maybe the age of the member that you're going to be adding here, or if it's someone that you trust or don't trust, this is going to be important, because first off at the top you'll see new account, and you have admin, standard, sharing only, group, right? So a lot of times you and I, the two big ones are going to be administrator and standard, right? Administrator is basically what the main user is. It allows them to administer this computer, which means they can add users, they can remove users, they can change settings, they have total control of this computer. So if you want that other person to also have the same amount of control as you do, set them as an administrator. If you don't, and you only want them to be able to work with or make changes inside their own user, then you set them as standard. So for instance, if I set up my wife on this computer, I'd put her as an administrator. If I put like my daughter on there, who's a little younger, I would probably only put her as standard, so that she can only affect her stuff, whereas my wife and myself can affect my own stuff as well as anybody else's. So I can remove them as a user. I can go in and change their passwords. I can go in and do that kind of stuff. So just kind of be aware of that. And then simply you're going to fill this out. So full name, account name, password, and you do need to put a password in there. It doesn't have much for conditions, but follow what it says, right? And a password hint. Now, one of the things to also be aware of, don't put a password hint in as like your favorite color, or it's my password hint is the name of my daughter, or it's where I was born, because you don't want a password hint that allows a complete stranger or even someone that knows you a little bit to be able to guess your password. So password hint has to still be fairly vague, just enough to put you on the right path. Once you have this set up, I'm just going to cancel this. Once you have this set up, you will have the ability to turn on something called fast user switching if you so choose. But the big one here is that when the computer starts up, it's going to prompt you for which user you'd like to set up. And that's going to be a huge benefit, because now we have separation between those that are using this computer. The last thing I want to just kind of show you in here while you're here, inside a user, you'll see things like login items. This is an area where, and a lot of people ask about this, this is an area where these are the applications that automatically start when your computer automatically starts. So I want, when my computer starts, to turn on this M installer, and I want it to turn on or start Chrome. Actually, all of these are starting, right? These ones start and hide. So they start but hide so that we don't see them. If a program comes on that starts all the time, you're like, why is it always starting? I don't know why. Chances are it's in here. So you can click on it and hit the little minus mark and it won't start anymore. That's the first place that you look. All right, guys, that's how you create a second and third and fourth, just additional users on your Mac with Big Sur. Hopefully that's handy. If you have any questions on it, leave them down below and we'll see if we can answer them for you. All right, my friends, like, comment, share, subscribe. And as always, we are putting these videos, the training videos, Tuesdays and Thursdays, tech videos every other day, including those days, because we love them. All right, my friends, we will see you next video. Later.